Hello and welcome to FMRevu. I'm your host, Freddie Robinson, and in today's video I'll be bringing you a very small channel update as well as a refresher of all the items I've gotten way backed up on making videos, unboxing, and reviewing. So stick around for some greatness. Start off things, just an update with me, my life, where I'm at. February of this year, 2018, I took on a new job as an airport rescue firefighter and EMT. That's a lot different than my past job. I've been fortunate enough to be educated with this job. I've had 10 different classes this year, certifications for rescue, and it's taken me from Las Vegas, Dallas, Alabama, some areas here in Mississippi. So I've just been busy keeping up with the job and maintaining the skills necessary for that. Second thing, I got a 2-year-old son. He wants to be underneath me every minute, and it takes a lot. It takes a whole lot to build up the energy to make videos, especially with any type of production quality, whether it's good sound, good video, good audio, editing. It just takes a whole lot out of me, and I don't have a lot of time and energy to put toward the channel. By no means am I abandoning the channel. I love making videos and I enjoy interacting with everybody through the comments. But to catch you up with some of the things that I'm going to make in the future as far as video goes, I have a new house, so I'm taking on a lot of projects. I got a new Black & Decker drill that I'll be using to build all kind of shelves, install pictures, any type of furniture assembly, and stuff like that. I have a new turntable which I will be using to display small items in my videos, such as watches. I have a lot of watches that I've not made videos on. I'm a great fan of watches. I love watches, and I like to highlight watches with the turntable as I talk about some of the features. And this is a new one which is a little bit bigger and it's more reliable than my past turntable. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and handheld video games were kind of like the beginning stage of video games. And I had a lot of Tiger handheld games. This is one that I had from my past. It has nostalgia value. I found this on eBay. It's Radio Shack Space Aliens, and it was brand new in the box for maybe $16, $17. So I picked it up, and it's a wonderful nostalgia piece. I definitely want to spend time with my son, letting him know the beginnings of video games, where they came from and where they're at now. Moving on to more video games, I picked up Suikoden and Final Fantasy VII, both for the PlayStation 1. I was a huge role-playing game fan in the 90s, and these were two of my favorite games. I had these, I played them, and the disc got scratched. Final Fantasy is on multiple discs. It's easy to scratch one disc in a collection, moving them in and out. And so I went ahead and just picked up new, fresh copies of these. Again, I'm a big fan of video games, 1990s. I love Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and all the other millions of fighting games out there. And I'm trying to build a collection of Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games. This is the first one that I've ordered. This is Mortal Kombat for the Genesis. This one had all the blood that was censored in the Nintendo version, so that's why I picked this up. Plus I like the Genesis where they have these hard clamshell cases, so I want to pick up a few more of these. Moving right along, keeping up with Mortal Kombat, I picked up Mortal Kombat XL. It was on sale for $17. I've never played the MKX, so I just waited around patiently, picked up the one with all the DLC for a pretty good price. Same thing can be said with Red Dead Redemption. This is Game of the Year edition. I like Rockstar games. I like all the Grand Theft Auto games, even though I don't have the time to devote to play 100 hours for a video game, or maybe even longer depending on online and all the DLC, which this one does have. It's got the zombies DLC, and I watched a friend play this, and I really liked the concept of a Western free-roaming video game. So I went ahead and picked this up because it was on sale for $16. Moving on to my love for fighting games, I have Killer Instinct, the definitive edition. I bought, whenever Killer Instinct came out, the remake came out for Xbox, I went ahead and bought the nice big package thinking that I was going to get everything, and it ended up fooling me because there was multiple seasons, and I just wanted to get all that on one physical copy because I like physical copies. I like having something in my hand that's tangible that I have, and so I went ahead and picked this up. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is for the Xbox One. This was a GameStop exclusive for Xbox One. As far as I know, no one else released this on Xbox One. It was only on the Xbox 360. And since it's the Ultimate Edition, it does have all the DLC characters. You buy it one time, you don't have to pay for all the DLC stuff. It's just the nuisance of downloading gigs and gigs of data or DLC packs once you actually have this. Now stepping back a little bit, I have the Xbox 360, and I picked up Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It got a bad rap when it came out. I don't know the problem with it because I've never played it. I just ordered it because the graphics look good. Of course, they're all along the same lines as Street Fighter 4, and I like that. So Street Fighter and Tekken. I'm not a fan of Tekken because I don't like the 3D movement, but I think this is on a 2D plane. So I will pop this in, play it, just see how it is. It was a very cheap eBay purchase, I think $10 for this. Like I said, it got a bad rap. There was tons of these that didn't sell good, so you can find these a dime a dozen on eBay. And here I have Ultra Street Fighter 4. I'm a big Street Fighter fan. I'm a little disappointed in Sony buying out the Street Fighter franchise or somehow funding it in the background, therefore making Street Fighter 5 exclusive to the PlayStation 4, because I'm an Xbox fan. At least currently. I like and I own the PlayStation 1 and 2. I don't have a 3. But this is the best edition that I know of Street Fighter 4, and I enjoyed that. I have the original Street Fighter 4 before all the updates and DLC came out, and I just wanted to purchase this to have all the content. Taking another step backwards, we have the Samurai Showdown Anthology for the PlayStation 2. I'm a nostalgia fan. I like the old fighting games from the 90s, and I like the 2D pixelated animation or graphic style, and I like that. Neo Geo did a great job with these games. I love Samurai Showdown 1 and 2. As they got progressively higher up in the sequels, I didn't like them as much because they changed the fighting system on it. Odin Spehere, I've always liked the graphics from this. I don't know how the gameplay is. I've read that it's possibly a little harder type of a game, but the Atlas, they make really good, almost like second-rate video games. None of them are really just #1 type video games. They're always being overshadowed, possibly with the role-playing genre, with Final Fantasy and Square Enix. But as far as action RPG, I think this is going to be a pretty good one to play. Maybe sit down with my son and play it one lazy Sunday evening, if I have time, if I'm off, if I'm at home. Moving along, I got this right as the announcement of the 30th edition Street Fighter Xbox PlayStation game was released. And this is Street Fighter Alpha Anthology, which has several games on it. It's got all the Alpha games, which I like. Those were, I like the evolution of the graphics and the super moves and the character roster. I like all of that. So I went ahead and picked this up because it was maybe $11, which is a whole lot cheaper than the new one that came out. And as far as I understand, those are purely just the arcade editions. There's no story mode or anything fleshed out other than just playing the arcade. Here is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, and this has 40 characters from the Neo Geo franchise. It's something similar to how Marvel vs. Capcom or maybe Capcom All-Stars came out, where they took all the characters from their big popular games and put them into one fighting game, and I like that. I like fighting games, I like Neo Geo. So it was a winning combination for me. Last but not least is World Heroes Anthology. I liked World Heroes 1 purely because number 1, it was a Street Fighter clone, and number 2, it had the unique traits of the backgrounds that kind of had danger things in it, with the spikes, the ropes made out of electricity, the ropes made out of fire, and just different danger obstacles in there. I was fortunate enough to pick up the SNES and NES Mini when they were released. Actually, I did both of these on a second release, so it's not the very first super elite rare release. I don't know the difference between the two because I got the SNES first and then the NES, and to be honest, I haven't taken this out of the box. I can count on one hand how many minutes I've played the SNES Mini. I like these, and it seems like I like owning them rather than playing them. Not that I'm a hoarder or anything, but just that nostalgia value is a little bit more. It has more appeal to it than playing these games, because a lot of these games are extremely hard. But mostly I picked up all these old games just to spend time with my son, so he can see some of the old games that I grew up playing. He can experience some of those. Changing directions a little bit, I'm going to the Blu-ray of The Lost Boys. I got this as a Father's Day present this year, and I like it. This is a vampire movie in the era when vampires were cool, right before they were toned down a lot with the Twilight series. These were vampires that actually were bad. Violence, gore, not much nudity in here, but these were just bad vampires. They wasn't pretty boy, lovey-dovey, sappy romance vampires. So this 30 Days of Night, Interview with the Vampire, even though I know Pretty Boys play in that. What else is a good vampire? I actually like the Blade series, even though they got cheesier as they went on. More nostalgia leading up to the 99s and 2000s, where you have Office Space and Meet the Parents, my two favorite comedy movies, and they're on VHS, with the added bonus of Be Kind, Rewind from Blockbuster. I miss Blockbuster and other rental stores, and when I saw these at a flea market, I had to pick them up. Like I said, these are my favorite movies for comedy, and I couldn't go wrong. They were $2 each, so I had to pick these up. Next up, I've been collecting these little USB LED kits from Walmart. They are $4 and some change, and I like to outline behind my televisions, all three of them, underneath the cabinets, and possibly around my consoles, just to make an RGB themed nighttime game room, because I have my old it's a plasma, but it is a, what is that called? PVM. Yeah, PVM. This is a Hitachi, so it has RGB, SCART, and all the old components that you would hook up your old consoles to. I have my Super Nintendo, my PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, and Sega Saturn hooked up to this right now through those old components connections, and I would like to somewhat make this a functional office during the daytime, and at nighttime a pleasant semi-arcade room or game room. And I'm going to use these little lights to do some highlighting around. Over the course of my life, I've been fortunate enough to stick with and be involved with Taekwondo, and in 2016 I was able to test for and obtain the 5th degree black belt. Now in my organization, which is probably different from every other organization out there, at 5th degree you get the title of master. A lot of people drop the instructor part, but it's actually master instructor. It's no master of anything. I can't perform magic. I can break boards, I can break bricks, I can do self-defense, I can do jump kicks, but I can't fly or do anything special like that. But in honor of doing that, I did pick me up a high quality black belt that I ordered from Century. It's a very thick core black belt. It's one that'll hold up because I've got some belts that are 10 years old because I started in 1991, and that's pretty much the beginning of my martial arts. I used Van Damme as a role model with the high kicks and the flexibility and all that. But I went ahead and got this custom embroidered with some kanji on it, and it's outlined. It's red with the silver outline, and one side says student and one side says instructor. Nothing special. However, every black belt, no matter what level you're at, you're always a student of somebody, and if you're a good black belt, you should be instructing and passing on the legacy of martial arts. I do hope that you've enjoyed this little small video and update. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and if I have time, I will definitely get back and respond to those. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll promise you more videos will be coming your way.
3, 2, 1, action!
Given the nothingness approach that I had, let's see, now on to I gotta find the energy to unbox all those. I kind of loaded up on Amazon Prime, or Prime Day rather, but another video, another day, so stay tuned.